So Swati, welcome a second time to this kind of discussion, but this time maybe we'll be more focused in talking about some of your experiences and how you have mentored and developed mentorship programs for people that work with you or interact with you. But thank you again, and your journey is tremendously inspirational. We've known each other, I would say, close to 10 years now, at least. So, it was in Los Angeles that we met. And the stories that your personal stories that you drive yourself to do dragon boat racing, and also your PhD and your career. We'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah. Well, hello, everybody. It's nice to meet you all. For me, whenever I get asked this question, I kind of have to ask myself, how far do I go back? Because I'll start with my love for biology. I've always that is the field that I've always been very passionate about. It's the field that I always excelled in when I was at school. It was I just had a connection to the field of biological sciences, not chemistry, not physics, biological sciences. And so for me, when I went through, I was born and brought up in India, and I moved here when I was little. So I moved to California when I was in 9th grade. And so from that time on, I've been in California. So I've done my high school here, did my college degree here, went down for my PhD, and I've just gone up and down the coast of California. So I'm more Californian than I am Indian at some point, for lack of better words. But with that said, throughout my journey, my educational journey, my focus has always been biology. Biology was a focus when I was in high school. I went to Davis, knowing that I wanted to do something in the field of biology. I was pre-med for a period of time because, we all want to become doctors. So for me, the conversation that I had with myself was, I said, well, do I really want to become a doctor and, have someone's life at the table? Am I built for that? And I'm too emotional to be built for that. So I said, let me do plant genetics, because they're not going to feel anything. And then eventually through plant genetics, I got bored and went to human genetics. So that was my journey from an educational standpoint. And I loved it so much. I mean, human genetics, human development is just so fascinating. You really think about creation, you think about why something happens, how, during embryonic development, how do proteins know where to go? How do you know what the front is from the back? How do you figure that out? And when you start asking those questions, it's alarming and it's almost astonishing at the same time to know we don't have all the answers. And that to me was my inspiration. I was like, oh my God, there's so much we don't know. And for me, genetics was that space. There's so much we don't know about the human genome. There's so much we haven't yet uncovered about ourselves. And so that's really, for me, that was always my basis. I always loved that space. Got my my undergrad degree in genetics. This was 2008 when I had graduated, and I said, this is right when we were experiencing a recession here in the United States, and there were no jobs. When I started to go look for jobs in the lab and started to interview for positions, it became very clear to me that to work in a lab, you absolutely needed either a master's or a PhD. A bachelor's did not mean anything. It was like a high school diploma. Everybody had one. It was not going to get you anywhere in life. And so for me, the conversation became, well, should I go for a master's program or should I go for a PhD? PhD pays for itself here in the United States. You get a stipend, you get a degree after 5 years. And so for me, I said, well, I love this space, so might as well just, commit to the entire 5-year program. And so after my bachelor's, I directly went to a PhD program. I did not do the master's to a PhD. I directly went to a PhD program. And my first year in my PhD program, I got to, you do your lab rotations, right? And so in my rotations, I worked in a diabetes lab. I worked in a metabolism lab. I worked in a lab that was focused on development and epigenetics. And that's what really caught my attention. I said, wow, there's even something beyond the human genome, like the epigenome, that we don't even understand. We're just starting to uncover this. And so that's really where, I wanted to learn more. I wanted to make my mark in the research space, which is like a little dot in the larger ecosystem. But that's what drove my interest in the space. So I got my PhD in that field. I did primarily focus on cancer research, studied leukemia, studied epigenetics in leukemia, studied development, just hematopoietic cell development, and understanding what epigenetic changes happen when a stem cell differentiates into the various immune system cells we have, right? So that was my basis. However, 2 years into my PhD program, I looked around the lab and I said, I don't know if I can live this life. Like, you see your postdocs, you see your PI, and you ask yourself, right? Like, where am I going to go next? What does my life look like 5 years down the line? And when I saw people around me, I said, I don't know if I want this life. I don't know if I'm okay with that. Like, I want something else. Like, I want to work with people. I want to, we as researchers and scientists spend decades in our lives like dedicated to the one gene or the one protein or the one marker. And we never actually get to see it actually helping somebody. Maybe we do. Those are the lucky people that, actually are able to see their discoveries and inventions being, helping patients. And so for me, I said, I want to be closer to bedside. I know how long it takes. I know the journey from bench to bedside is long, but I want to be at the bedside front. I want to see how I can help patients. I want to see how research is helping patients. And that's where I want to be. And so for me, I feel like, and I've told Narendra this a lot of times, for me, I feel very blessed because I feel like I've been in the right places at the right time a lot of my career. And so the opportunities that have come my way has been because of just, being at the right place at the right time. So, while I was doing my PhD, we concurrently had just kicked off an MBA scholarship program with the Keck Graduate Institute. And so I was like, free education, let's do this. And so why wouldn't you, right? So that really gave me an understanding of, I didn't have to limit my knowledge to science and research and technical things. I could take all of this 5 years of grunt work that I had done trying to optimize my freaking PCRs and actually help industry, right? I mean, this is something I could bring to the table that nobody else at the table knew or had worked through or really understood the process. So that's when it became very clear to me. I said, oh my God, like this is actually a pro. Like my kind of good or bad or ugly or whatever experiences you want to name it, my experiences in my PhD have helped me, helped equip me with knowledge and talent and expertise that I can now bring to the table. And I have credibility for it. Like, people will take my word for it. And so that's really what made kind of flip that switch in my head to say, I can use my degree for other things. This is other ways in which I can use this. So it was really that Keck Graduate Institute, that MBA program that really helped me understand and kind of made me think like outside the box. So I said, okay, I guess that's where we're going to start. That's where I met Narendra. And, Narendra was one of the first kind of people that I connected with for informational interviews, because I said, okay, I'm ready to move to the dark side into industry. Now what? Where do I start? And so, he really helped me connect with other people at his organization, and really for me to understand, well, what can I do? I know I can do something, but what is it? Is it R&D? Do I want to be in R&D? Is it scientific affairs? Do I want to be in scientific affairs? Is it product development? Is it sales? Is it IT? Is it something else? I don't know. And so I think that really helped me kind of understand some of the opportunities that one could explore. And then that's really where my industry journey started.